Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again, and today we're gonna continue our showcase of the new OP09 leaders, and today's turn is none other than Lim, who gives us some really cool additions to the game. It's a green purple leader, right? But most of her support, like the Odyssey cards, are all green cards, right? So we have this new archetype that's called Odyssey, that is based on a game, I guess, One Piece game. I actually never played it myself, so I'm not very familiar with some of these original characters like Lim and Adio. But hey, they seem pretty cool. So, anyways, we're gonna play some Lim here. And honestly, after playing this deck, I think Lim is a little bit underrated, right? She's underrated because I think she's a lot better than people think. The problem with Lim is that her leader ability, right? She's another one of these leaders that is just trying to ramp up. So just similar to how we played Nico Robin almost a week ago, and Nico Robin is all about going first and ramping up and then playing these big bodies, right? Lim is the same way, right? You want to go first, you want to just use your ability right away when you have 3 down and start ramping up. Lim, in my opinion, is one of the best leaders in terms of like how good her ability is. Because unlike Robin, where you need to trash a card from your hand, or even think of like Red Purple Uta, same way you have to like trash a film card from your hand. Lim is the opposite. You're not trashing anything from your hand. You're literally just resting 3 down, you're ramping up a down, and you get to play a 5 cost or less Odyssey body to the field. So it kind of like a little bit of a mix of like Vegapunk, where you get to cheat out these 5 cost bodies for 3 costs. Obviously, Vegapunk does it for 1, but you get the idea, right? So it's actually a little bit better. The downside that Lim has is that all your cards enter play rested, right? All your character enter play rested. And that is kind of like a downside, but a lot of these cards from the Odyssey package actually get value from being played as rested, where the downside doesn't even seem that bad. The biggest weakness I think was holding Lim back is how reliant she is on the die roll. Like this leader will win games when she goes first and will lose games when she goes second. And the reason I say that is because when you go first and you have your 3 down on your second turn, you're able to attack for 5 and use the 3 down to be able to play out one of these guys and ramp up a down. And then on your 6th down turn, you're again able to play something like a Lim or a Rosinante and still have 3 down left over to play another body. So all of a sudden, you on your 3rd turn, you have 3 bodies on the field, and you just start getting all these value, right? Like that's perfect. And then you go to 9 down, and then you can drop your big bomb. The whole idea with this deck is that you're trying to just go to 9 down as soon as possible and start playing your 9 cost characters. And it works a lot better when you're going first. When you're going second, your curve is a little bit more awkward because you don't have these bodies on the field on your second turn to start putting pressure into the opponent. And when you play them on your 4th down turn, your curve ends up being a little bit worse in general, right? So that's the problem with Lim, right? But enough of that rambling. Again, ideally, the way that you want to play this deck is just ramp while building a board, right? And you're doing both because of her leader ability, and you're able to just drop a 6 power body to the field while ramping up so that you get to your big bumps here, which is 4 Zoros, 2 Adios, and even 2 Kaido Linlins here, which is a little bit of a funny tech here, which can work sometimes. We'll see. But anyways, let's talk about the actual the rest of the cards, right? Because I've been rambling already so much for like almost 4 minutes. Again, she is all about this Odyssey package. I'm building my deck with half Odyssey and kind of like half Straw Hats. And the reason we're doing like half Straw Hat, half Odyssey, because the whole goal of our deck is to ramp up to drop this Zoro. If you drop Zoro and the Zoro gets to stay on the field, the opponent's going to be under way too much pressure, right? No other deck can ramp up in green the way that Limcan does and let us be able to drop this bomb. So we are playing half a Straw Hat package because we get to play a new card that came in OP09, which is the Trafalgar Law. It's a 1 mana character, and you can look at the top 4 cards of your deck and reveal a cost 2 or greater Straw Hat character, which means that this law can actually search for your Zoro if you don't have it in your hand already, right? So Law can search for Zoro, and of course, a lot of the Odyssey cards like Nico Robin, like Usopp, like Luffy here are also already Straw Hats, so they can also be searched with the law here so that you can actually get them into your hand. And also you can search stuff like Usopp here, which is a Straw Hat crew, and then Sanji. So you have a lot of a lot of search options that you can play as just counter, or counter plus utility here, as we see with Usopp. So that's kind of why we play the Straw Hat side of this deck, because of this card here, Law. And of course we play the Odyssey side because we need to have an Odyssey card to be able to play with a leader ability, right? So we are playing Lim, Luffy, Ace, Doflamingo, Sabo, right? These are the best cards from the Odyssey package that we get in OP09. Lim gets a lot more cards in OP10 from Odyssey that you can always use later to replace these cards. But for now, this is the best that we can do here. And obviously, you can also search the Adio with your Lim here, so it ends up being pretty good here. So those are that's the split of our deck, right? Ideally, right? This deck, your main goal is just ramp up, play your bomb, right? In the mid game, as you're ramping up, ideally you want to start by playing one of these 6k power bodies, whether it's Luffy, Sabo, or Dofi. Ideally, the one that you want to drop first is Sabo, because Sabo has a when attacking effect. So by having him on the field first, that means on your next turn you can play 2 units, and Sabo counts itself as a rested unit. So all you need is 2 other units, right? So that's the thing. A lot of these cards that have when you have 2 or more characters, or 3 or more characters, when you're looking at Sabo, they count themselves. So all you need to have is just have another rested character, for example. And when you play Luffy, it lets you rest one of the opponent's 6 cost or less characters. Same thing with Sabo. All you need to have is 2 other rested units, and you're able to actually use the effect from Sabo to be able to draw, right? So we want to play either Sabo, Luffy, or Dofi. Again, have the 6k bot in the field and be able to start attacking 6 or 7s into the opponents on the turns going forward. Then after that, you are gonna be using stuff like Luffy or even Ace or even Usopp if you already have a done, to rest the opponent's units, like their low cost blockers, for example, and be able to just attack into them that way. You have a lot of searchers here with utility wise, and you also have a lot of 2k counters, right? And that's kind of the cusp of the deck, right? Like the on 3 Dawn, and then on 6 Dawn, or on 4 Dawn and 7 Dawn, you're usually playing these bodies and playing the searchers to just get value from them that way, and be able to start helping these bodies to put pressure into the opponent. Once you get to your 9 and 10 Dawn turn, that's when you start going with stuff like Zoro, or Adio or Linlin, and just start putting that pressure into the opponent that way. Yeah, so I mean, again, a lot of rambling. Maybe I didn't do a great job of kind of breaking down how it works here, but that's the general strategy when you're gonna go to your mid game into your late game. Now, what does each card bring to the table here? Zoro obviously is a big boss monster that's putting a lot of pressure. Adio is kind of like an alternate to Zoro in case that we don't draw the Zoro. The cool part about Adio as well is that it's going to be able to count as a 2k counter, right? On your 9 Dawn, you can play Adio and restand 3 of your Dawn, and be able to use the 2 Dawn to attack and keep a Dawn over for his ability. Or if you wanted to, you could use the 3 Dawn that you just restanded with Adio to summon another unit using the Lim ability, right? Maybe you go Adio into a Dofi, or obviously if you play Adio on your 10 Dawn turn, then you can actually do that while keeping a Dawn active for your Adio ability. We only play Usopp here, obviously, as another Odyssey target and another searcher for the law. But it can also be used in a situation where you do draw a lot of these non-counter cards. There has been games where sometimes I end up getting stuck with two Zoros and 1 Adio, and Usopp kind of lets me be able to obviously cycle and be able to at least not be stuck with too many of them. Sabo is really one of the MVPs of this deck, right? It's the first unit you want to develop and then start getting draws from there. Dofi is really good, and again, he counts himself, right? So all you need to have is just have another unit on the field when you have this Dofi, and Dofi will get restanded at the end of the turn. And the benefit of this is that if the Dofi stays alive on your next turn, you can start attacking with Dofi because you know that he's going to get restanded at the end of every turn. So it's like a blocker that can actually attack because you're able to just restand him every turn. Rosinante ends up being another follow-up blocker that we end up adding to this deck. And the reason for that is because sometimes, right, remember that your units come down rested. So what that means is that if you play Zoro with no cards in your hand or no blockers, opponent can just attack into Zoro, right? So what I can do, what I like to do sometimes is that the turn before I play Zoro, I'm gonna develop either Rosinante or Doflamingo, and have a blocker so that the opponent cannot just put all their Dawn into their leader, for example, and attack into my Zoro. So that's what kind of Rosinante is doing here. It's also another three cost body in addition with Lim that allows you to play that 3-cost body when you have Sits Dawn. Because when you have Sits Dawn, the best thing you can do is play a 3-cost body and then also use your leader ability to play a 5-cost body. So you're able to develop 2 bodies for Sits Dawn. So if you don't have the Lim, the Rosinante kind of ends up being like a backup idea for that. The Nico Robin is only here for the black matchup if you're going against something like Lucci. When you play this card, it protects all your Odyssey or Straw Hat type characters from getting KO by the opponent. Not very useful in a lot of situations, but again, if you are going against that Lucci player or other like Smoker or something, it could actually be very important when you use this card here. And actually, one of the games that we're going to have today is going to be against Rob Lucci, and you're going to see how I utilize this Nico Robin there. 4 aces, just an Odyssey target and just a 2k, but he also lets us be able to rest an opponent's blocker, right? 5 costs or less, so that's why we play him here, because you can also cheat him out with the Lim. Luffy is the other MVP of this deck in addition with Sabo. Kind of does similar effect to Ace, but he can let us rest at 6 costs or less. Doesn't really make a difference usually because most blockers are going to be 5 costs or less. But it's a 6k body, right? So it ends up being really useful here. And it can be searched by both your Lim and your Law. So more likely for you to actually have it in your hand and be able to get value from it. Lim is really good, searches Odyssey, and again, just a 3-cost body, similar to what I just explained to you with Rosinante. Sanji is just there as a 2k. Doesn't have to be Sanji. You can play the green. You can play the other green Sanji instead. So there's a. I do think it has to be a Sanji. Whether you play this purple blocker Sanji that has 2k, or you play the film Sanji. So you have that film Sanji here. That's also a 2k. That, you know, for every 3 rested on, this character gains 1000 power. You can use this one instead. I ended up preferring the blocker Sanji because there might be some edge cases when you actually might want to play this, you know, as a 6 cost. And even though it does come down rested, so that's the problem. That like it is a blocker, but it comes down rested, right? So that's why people usually play this one instead. But maybe you play it down on the field, knowing that if you save it for 1 turn, it will become a blocker going forward from there. Linlin, just another boss monster, just like Adio and Zoro. A little bit weaker, obviously. Obviously, the idea with Linlin is to be able to just blow up the opponent's board. The reason we play Linlin here is it helps us when we're going second, because when we're going second, we can ramp up to 10 down very quickly. So we can just drop down this Linlin before the opponent even gets to their 10 down turn. And it can just be a threat there. You don't have to use the Linlin ability, right? You don't have to use the Linlin ability when you attack. Like, you just don't do -10. You just attack with her and just keep her as a threat that the opponent has to be careful about. Because at any point, you can actually use her value and just blow up the opponent's board if necessary. We do have Law Searcher and Usoashi, again, can be searched by the Law and lets us rest an opponent's unit. If you notice, we have 4, 8, 12 cards that lets us rest opponents' 5 cost or less units. So blockers are not a thing. Blockers are not a thing. That's why I said having Zoro is so important. Because imagine dropping Zoro on your 9 down turn, and then on the next turn, opponent thinks they can hide behind blockers, and you just go and play like a Usoashi and play a Luffy to follow up, and that's gonna cost you 6 down because you can just, again, there's no restriction. Like, you can play this once a turn, every turn, right? So it doesn't matter that you're already at 10 down. Like, you can just play it for 10 down and be able to cheat out the Luffy for 3 down, making it efficient for you to be able to play this, right? So it kind of costs the same as like doing an Usoashi. And then we are finishing up the deck list with 3 Gatlins. Just because the Gatling, obviously, we have a lot of non-counter cards, so it lets me be able to discard them if needed. Do note that this card, even though this is a Straw Hat Crew, cannot be searched by the Law because Law needs to be a 2 cost or greater card. So, you know, it is what it is. But that is the deck list. That is the game plan, right? The biggest tips that I can tell you, again, this rest effects count themselves. They count themselves, right? They count themselves. So keep that in mind. Like if you have let's say you have a Luffy here on the field, you have a Dofi, and you have a Lim. That's 3 rested units on the field. At the end of the turn, you have to activate Lim first before Dofi. Because Lim is counting herself, the Dofi, and the Luffy. If you instead activate Dofi first, Dofi becomes active, and then when Lim comes in check, the only 2 rested units are going to be Luffy and Lim. So you have to do Lim first, then Dofi. They count themselves. Remember that, right? That's the biggest thing. And then the biggest thing I can tell you with this leader is go first. If you win the die roll, go first. If you don't go first, you're going to have a bad time. This deck is literally all about going first or going second. But anyways, I already rambled way too much with this deck breakdown. So let's just move on to the gameplay. We're going to have 2 games against Shanks today, 1 game against a Red Purple Luffy player, and I think 1 game against a Black Lucci player. So hope you enjoy the games coming up soon. And if you do, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post One Piece videos every single day. Enjoy. In this match, we're going against Shanks. Usually, obviously, I like to go first. And opponent's going to correctly choose the right option for them, right? Which is to actually go first themselves. Ugh. Let's mulligan this. Yeah, I think I like the Lim better. I like having the Adio too. The Adio is actually not bad. Now, me going second is actually not the worst thing, because it lets me attack for sits, playing around the opponent's leader ability, and still be able to develop my stuff, right? So we'll take this one, right? And now we can attack for sits and force the opponent to have to actually give me a counter here. I'm okay playing out this Luffy. Ooh, that's my Zoro. Perfect, right? So we can go like this. Attack for sits. I think we just play Zoro. The earlier that we play the Zoro, the better. Yeah, see? So they do the leader ability, but they still have to actually give me a card. And they gave me a 2k there. That's kind of crazy to think about. We'll go here. Then we can go Lim into another one. And be able to still attack for sits. Sits twice, actually. Especially now that we saw that the opponent gave me a 2k. I'm so down to attack sits twice. Their Lucky Rods is the annoying one. That's a good one. I'm going to take it. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to take it because I'm going to need to have the Dawn to defend my other stuff later. So that's a good one for them. So, I guess, yeah, opponent's at sits already. So I guess, yeah, I think we just go sits twice, like I was talking about. One of them is gonna get denied, right? But the opponent showed me just 2k last turn. So because the opponent only showed me 2k, I think I go here. And yeah, we're just gonna play Zoro. Yeah, the opponent gave me another 2k there. We're just gonna play Zoro next turn. That's my Dofi. That's kind of what I wanted. Because now we can go here and have Dofi as a blocker. Now, I do have to be careful. Obviously, opponent's at 7 now, so they could have a Ben Beckon to kill the Dofi. As suspected. And I'm going to have to actually start countering here. I don't think I can go to 1. I think I have enough counters that I'm okay dropping Zoro down. I'm forcing the opponent's answer. I'm also not opposed to just attacking into their Jazz up if the opponent actually attacks with it. Yeah, I'm not opposed to attacking into Jazz up. So let me think about this. I'm still going to have 3 2Ks, which can get me to 11, 13, 15 plus a 3K here. I think I can afford to give this one up. I can afford to give one of these up. Now, the annoying part about attacking into their gas up is that the opponent can deny one of these with their leader ability. So they're only giving me 1 card. But again, the opponent has only given us 2k counters. So they must not have a lot of good value. But I need to get rid of this Jazz up. I cannot have, like, I have to try to get rid of the Jazz up. We drop Zoro, and then maybe we drop the Adio and kind of go from there. Let's go here. I mean, yeah, just attach one down to her. Attack for sits. Just eat up the counter. Yeah, the Ben Beckon on 7 was very annoying. Another 2k. Okay. Let's go for 5. I had to go Zoro. I'm not winning this game otherwise. And even with Zoro, it's going to be really hard here. But Zoro can at least threaten their board next turn. Even if the opponent has 10 cost Shanks. I mean, they cannot play 10 cost Shanks, right? So they have to actually go for 9 drop here. Yeah, so now the problem here is that they can still put a lot of Dawn into their units to kind of kill us. So let me see. If they go all 9 here, that's going to be 16. If we give them the 2K, we can go 9, 11, 13, 15, 18. I think we give them the 2K here. And take the Jazz up hit. Ooh. Or maybe we take this hit. So now if they go all 9, they go 15, but they can also do -1 here. So this would be at 8. So we can go to 10, 11. Yeah, I think I have to take this, right? So I have to take this. The Rosinante is actually huge because we can go both Rosinante and Adio next turn. I cannot go to 0, right? Because I just lose to Roger. So if the opponent plays a dragon here, I'm going to have to defend this. Yeah, I'm going to have to defend this. So they go 8, 10. Oh, no, I just let that go, right? I don't care about the Luffy. No way, no shot. I think the opponent just literally threw by doing that. You're that scared of the Zoro. I guess I cannot actually play Adio and the blocker next time, by the way, because I have to have enough Dawn for... I need to have enough Dawn for to play my leader. To play my thing, right? Do we even actually play the Adio? So if we play the Adio, the problem is that the opponent can actually use their leader ability. I think we committed to playing the Adio when we trashed the Rosinante. Yeah, I think we committed to it. I think we did commit to it. Right? So, opponent gave me a bunch of 2Ks. The problem is that this is going to be an 8, right? This is going to be an 8 when the opponent is all said and done. So, I don't even know that I killed this dragon. Yeah, I don't even know that I can kill the dragon. So if the opponent keeps both dragon and Shanks, I have a bunch of 2Ks plus a 2K here. I should be able to survive. Opponent should be doing -1 here because this stays for the whole turn. Attacking the dragon doesn't matter because the opponent can again do exactly what they just did. I think I have to kill this Ben Becken, right? I have to kill the Ben Becken. If opponent has more 2Ks, then it is what it is. Okay. And then we just go ahead and go after the Shanks. Start softening them up a little bit. We had 2K, 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 technically a 2K here and a 1K. The problem is their leader ability, like actually stopping this for the whole turn, right? I have to literally block the dragon hit. Because otherwise, again, I just lose to... Well, I don't lose to Goldie Roger, actually. I don't have a blocker, so why do I care if the opponent plays Goldie Roger? It's at 13. We can go to 7. 7. Okay, so 7, 9, 11, 13. It's gonna depend if I get a 1K or not. If I get a 1K... Wow, I haven't seen a lot of my non-counter cards. I haven't seen there's more Zoros in the deck. If I block here, the opponent can still play Roger, and that will be enough to kill the Zoro. I have to just take it. I have to just trust my deck. Alright, yeah, I'm good like that, guys. Yeah, I have to just trust my deck. Do I just lose to the 15 though? No, because I got the 2K, right? So 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 16. So I don't lose to the 15 either. Dragon could be an interesting math here. So the 2K just saved me then, right? Maybe 11. Yeah, the two. I guess it could have been a 1K as well, right? It could have been a 1K too, right? And it should have been okay. Yeah, we just go 9. 9, 3 Dawn, 7, 9. Yeah, I think we just go 3 down here. We can go 7. We can go 9. We can go 10. I should have started with the 7 first, by the way, but that's my fault. Yeah, we go 7 here. Because opponent just going to use the leader ability on my Zoro for the whole turn. So there is one punish here, right? If the opponent has the Red Hawk. So if the opponent has the Red Hawk here. Yeah, so we're not going to use this just yet. Because I need to have the Dawn open. In case that this is a Red Hawk. Oh, it wasn't a Red Hawk, right? So now we can just put 9 here. So 9, and then we have 2 more 9K attacks here. Yeah, I had to just survive, right? Like, obviously, that hitting that 2K from my life was huge. It had to be a 2K or 1K. The 1K would have also saved me. Because the opponent could only go for 11, and I already had 3 other 2Ks in my hand. Wow, that was close. That was very, very close. We beat the Goldie Roger. We would have beat this. Obviously, we would have definitely beat the Shanks too, right? Because the Shanks would have just been actually 1 less than playing the Dragon plus the Shanks. So, whew, that was something else. And again, this is why you just want to play Zoro right on curve and just tell the opponent what are you gonna do about this Zoro, right? So, in this match, we're going against Shanks. I'll go first, and my hand is good. My hand is good here. I know that we don't have the Zoro yet or any of our bombs, but the fact that I have both a 6K body and also a limb is pretty good because it lets me play. It lets me. So again, the curve that you want to have here is that on your second turn, on your 3 down turn, you're gonna play a 6K body if you can. Ideally, you want it to be Sabo, but obviously we ended up not getting Sabo. We got Luffy instead. So I mean, we'll attack, see if the opponent doesn't use their leader ability for whatever reason. Yeah, there's no reason not to. We'll play this, right? And then next turn, when we have sits down, we can hard play Lim and also cheat out another unit from our hand with our leader ability, which is ends up being really, really nice, right? Opponent could technically just put all their down here and attack into this Luffy. I think we... So here's the thing. I think we have to let it go, because if we get like a Zoro... Yeah, we grab here. Because if we get a Zoro, we do need to be able to... we'll go here, press this up. We'll need to be able to like actually defend him against like the Shanks and stuff. Like we need to keep the counter, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I'll take this. I'll be so glad to take that. That's a funny play. That is a funny play, right? Obviously we can't do it now. But that is a really funny play, right? We can go like this. That's my Zoro now. Alright, so we can go Zoro. We can rest these Lucky Roots right now, because we can go ahead and just do my... Go like this, right? So this is a 5. Problem is that if I kill this, it's gonna KO like my Dofi, right? So I think we just go ahead and attack it with the Dofi first. Let them kill the Dofi if they want to. It's the best one for them to kill. You want to kill Dofi. Yeah, you want to kill Dofi. I agree with that. Let's go 6 here. I might just play a second law right here. And then we'll go 7. Make it so the opponent has to give me another 2K if they want to protect themselves here. Go like this. I guess we got to grab the Gatlin. Oh, this is only carrot there. Oh, sorry, it has to be cost more, right? So we actually whiffed this. It has to be cost 2 or more. I forgot about that. So we have options here. We can go Linlin, or we can go Zoro. What is the play? Something tells me to just go Linlin, to be honest. If I go Linlin, my opponent's gonna just try to kill us. I think I'm gonna go Linlin. If the opponent attacks my life, that's better for us. I think I'm just gonna go Linlin and just be like, okay, you wanna attack into us? You can attack into us, right? We can play the we can attack with the law to make sure that my limb stays active, right? I'm gonna go like this. We have 3 2Ks, right? So we can protect there all the way to 18. If the opponent puts all their dawn on the dragon to go to 19, then that's how we lose her. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it, friend. I'm down for it. I'm down to have fun with this Linlin here. You cannot. You have to put more than that. What might punish me here is having used that 0 cost event last time. I guess they can go. No, they don't have Rayleigh anymore. 14, okay. 16. Okay, yeah, we just go boom, boom, boom. Cool. You knew I was gonna do this. Yeah, you knew I was gonna do this. I had to actually counter this, right? Although I do go up to 1 life. Oh. You know what's funny? I can play this and keep the limb alive, but I don't think that really matters, right? Like, I think I just keep this for another turn. So we can get a bunch of attacks here before my things die. We can go 7, 7, 5, 5. Or does he just make... I think it's too much to put down on these guys. I think I just go 9, 9. Yeah, I think I just go like this. I think I just go 9. Again, I could go here and keep this limb alive. Ah, sorry. Keep this limb alive. I don't know if I had another unit. Oh man, like if I had another unit, maybe. I think I like the 10. I think I like the 10 here. That way, if the opponent uses the leader ability, it doesn't matter. And then we go 13. This also gives me the 1K, but the 1K doesn't do anything, right? Because the opponent's going to be able to still kill the Linlin with a Shanks. If this was a 2K, I will be protected against a Shanks. Yeah, if this was a 2K, I will be protected against the Shanks. I technically don't have to do it right now. But I mean, this is too good, right? It potentially gets the opponent down to 0. Yeah, I mean, I also messed up, by the way. The dawn here doesn't really matter. Yeah, the dawn there doesn't really matter because, yeah, so it had to be 11. Yeah, opponent going to 0 is not the end of the world because that means that they have to have a blocker. But I mean, they just have to go... This has to be a Shanks, right? This has to be a Shanks. They still have enough cards that they can just survive for a while. What I need to do is just protect my life so that I don't die to the multiple rushers. Because this is going to be what? Shanks into the Linlin, right? If I take this, then I guess I'm not dying just yet. Like, this is the problem here. Not being able to actually kill them. I am dying to a dragon. I'm dying to a dragon. Oh, never mind. Yeah, yeah, and they did have the dragon, so they would have just won. Yeah. That's the problem with Linlin, right? If I had a better way to protect it, like if I had a 2k counter, our opponent would have gotten punished, and I still had the Linlin to attack into the opponent. Because I think my mistake was when I used that one Gatling. If I kept it, I would have kept enough to protect the Linlin, and I didn't mind being a less life, right? So, yeah, the opponent won. The opponent won this one, but in this match, we're gonna against Lucci. We are gonna go first, and I have a decent hand here. I mean, although let's actually mulligan this. I think I wanted to find like my Lim, and we end up getting the Lim, right? Right. So now we can go like Luffy and then Lim. Yeah. So this is perfect, right? So we can attack for 5. We can play Luffy, and then next we can go Lim and Luffy as well. Yeah, we'll go like this. So we need to find some bombs now, right? I mean, this can potentially, like, we didn't get the law, but this can potentially, I guess, get me the Adio. That's the bomb from the Odyssey side of things. I think I'll take it. Being at 3 life is kind of risky, but I think I want to take this and just see what happens. I guess we start with Lim first, and if we don't get anything else, we might just attack into the Khalifa. Like, if we don't get something better, we might just play the Luffy again and just attack into the Khalifa. That's my Adio. Alright, so we go like this first, right? So we go like this first. We didn't get anything better, right? So I think we will just go for second nut graph the Lim, so it has to be the Rosinante. So we do have 2 units here when we play this guy, so we'll go like this. And we'll play this bad boy, which lets me rest this. If they want to give me the 2k here, I'm okay with that. No? Okay. I mean, they have to give me the 2k here regardless, right? No, they're going to just take it. Yeah, let's activate that Lim. Do we go Adio next turn? If I had Zoro here, this would feel so good. I can go Adio and Nico Robin. No. Yeah, I can, right? Because I can use my leader ability. So I can go Adio and Nico Robin, and that would defend my units from getting KO by the opponent's stuff next turn. So that could be interesting as well. But it does leave me with no Dawn to actually keep this Adio active. We only play 2 Nico Robins, right? So I want to use this Nico Robin at the right spot. And I don't think we're gonna, like, even if the opponent plays Moria next turn, what are they doing? Moria and this stuff? Let's give them a 1k here. Like, they have Helmeppo, I guess. So yeah, cool. They're gonna just kill the Lim? Okay. Like, they could go Moria, Rebecca, Helmeppo, but they don't have the Spanding or the Lucy in the trash yet. So, like, I don't think they're killing us next time. They have already shown me 2 Jacks. I guess they could go, like, Ice Age plus Jack to kill the Adio. What is my other option here? Like, if I'm not using... If I'm playing Adio... If I'm playing Adio here, I just want to have this 9k bat in the field, and I get a 3 Dawn back. Do I actually want to use those 3 Dawns for something here, or do I want to keep the 2 Dawn? I think I like just going 5. I think I don't play anything else here. I think I just go 5, and I just go 7 twice. Oh no! Okay, well I messed up. I already messed up, right? Shit, I needed to play Adio first. That's my mistake. So we can go here for 3. And then another 3, I guess, to play this. What about we go like this? Rest this bad boy and attack it for 7. If we clear the opponent's board, I think I should be okay. And here we just go for 8. And then I guess it's working out, right? We can go Adio plus Robin next turn and still have a Dawn active. to actually, but like, it would have been better for me to have the Adio this turn, I guess. The opponent could still, again, the opponent could still have, like, if they go Helmeppo, I might just save this, to be honest. Yeah, what if we just save this? So if they go Rebecca, Helmeppo, and then Brooke, right? Again, the idea here though is that they won't be able to actually kill my stuff next turn. Yeah, we go here. 1, 2, 3. I want to make sure. I do want to kill this Brook. I guess the Brook doesn't really matter, right? We might as well just threaten lethal. It's not like the Brook can kill anything. Do I actually need to keep this Dawn active for the Adio? I'll keep it active. Okay. The idea here, though, is that now I have this big board that the opponent can now actually KO. And that's why, again, the Robin is so important. I still would have preferred, honestly, to have played the Adio the one turn, because that would have been a 9k attack this turn. And it still would have been 2 7k, so it would have been 5, 7, 7. I guess it would have left the opponent with that who's who on the field. So maybe ended up working out for us to do that. Do I want to block here? Probably not, right? Oh, I might do it, I might not. Like, okay, because this has to be, this is already active, right? So, do I want to use the car action here? I need to keep at least 4 units alive, I think, right? Opponent's probably going to go. I also need, like another Luffy or Usopp. Between the blocker and the Adio, I should be okay. I didn't want to give him my blocker there in case that the opponent tries to attack into the Adio. I can't believe I put that down on the Luffy. I got ahead of myself because I knew when I played the Adio I was going to have 3 down left and I could have gone 7, 7 and keep a down off open for the Adio effect, and I just like went ahead of myself. I knew I wasn't going to play the Robin that turn because I think the Robin was more impactful on this turn, their 10 down turn, because last turn all they could have done was just kill 1 unit. So let me think about this. I think I just blocked this one. If they want to put a lot of Dawn, I guess they don't have anything else better to do with their Dawn, right? So they could just go. They have 2 life left. We can start attacking into them. Yeah, like here we can just go the Adio effect, right? Give the +2. The opponent has 8 down. Yeah, they're just gonna go Gecko because they need the blocker. You don't survive this if you don't have the blocker. So they're gonna go blocker and just get counters, but that's not a counter. That's a Tempest kick. So they whiff the span them, right? And they go for a 1k instead of wait. 7, 7, 7. 8, 8, 8, 9, 9. Are we ever surviving another turn? I think my whole board gets blown up next turn. We know the opponent. I think we go 7. I think we go 7. There's a chance for us to just kill the Morias if the opponent counters out of this stuff. So there's no way for me to have lethal. So now we're looking to just actually kill this Moria then. We can go 11. We know the opponent has Tempest, right? So this will be both cards that the opponent has. 9, 10, 11 again. Or do we just take them to 0? If we take them to 0... If we take them to 0, what are we looking for? Maybe I do need to just take them to 0. I can go 7. I guess let's go 7 first. But I mean, I hate having these two Brooks here on the field. Like, it's too many attacks, right? Like, the opponent has too many attacks. I could play the slow game and just take my time. But, like, opponent has Tempest Kick, so they'll be able to... If they have another Gecko, I just lose the game, I think. I think we go 7. Yeah, I think we go 7 here. And we just go 9 and just save the Adio effect as well. Opponent's going to have to kill all 3 bodies because Rebecca by herself won't be enough. If they counter Adio here, then I can just kill the Gecko, I guess. No, okay. We'll go like this. I know you have the Tempest, so you can get this down. And yeah, I guess we're just gonna... I don't know. I maybe should have just cleared their board, to be honest. I don't think I'm dying, because this is a free 2K. Now this is already down to 8. Opponent can go Ice Age to get it down to 3, Tempest Kick, and then be able to go like attack with the other stuff, and I lose that 2K counter. I think I wanted to see one more card. I want to see one more card first before deciding. Still tough. They can go what? They can go 11, 11. We can go 7. I think we take it. Yeah, I think we take it. I don't want to trash counter cards with my events. So they can go 13 now, right? We can go 7, 10, 13, 14. If they go 5 and 12, we can still beat it. Yeah, I think I'm fine. Now I even beat the blocker too. Yeah, like we just go here. And we go like this. And we go like this. That's 14. Yeah, like that 2K counter from the Adio was just too good, right? They did have another Gecko, right? So I think it was correct for me to not focus on clearing their board and just go for lethal. Yeah, I think it was fine for me to go for lethal. I wonder if there was some better numbers that the opponent could have done there, but I think obviously, like, because I had counter cards, there's a lot of non-counter cards that I have in my deck. So the reason that I was okay taking that with the 2 Gatling guns is because I wanted to see if I drew any of the strong counter cards from my life, and we saw that with the Zoro. So that allows me to give me something that I can trash, right? Imagine the last card was the Linlin, we could just trash both the Linlin and the Zoro, and not lose any of our other counters that we had in our hand. I think we needed everything. The opponent did have the Ice Age and the Tempest Kick, by the way, so they could have gotten rid of the Adio. And that would have been 2 Dawn, so it's the same thing as the Adio giving us 2K counter, so that's probably why they didn't do it. Yeah, because that's the same thing, right? They spend 2 Dawn, that would have been in one of their units, which is the same thing as the 2K counter that we get from the Adio. If they had a better way to get rid of this without spending 2 Dawn, then obviously we'll be more efficient that way. But yeah, again, that Robin was what really was the key part here. The only reason I'm not playing more than 2 Robins is because Lucci is not as popular. But if Lucci becomes more popular, then you want to have multiple of this Robin here to actually be able to protect yourself against the removal. So GG's. In this match, we're going against Red Purple Luffy. Hopefully they let me go first. I think this matchup might be okay for us. Yeah, let me go first. If we get Zoro, isn't this pretty good for us? We don't get it though. We don't get Zoro, and we don't have the law to search for the Zoro. Because I feel like if we get this Zoro down, and the opponent has to like, there's a consideration not to have played the Luffy out, by the way. I mean, I guess we had the Usopp, so we can always use the, like, yeah, because look at that. The opponent gets to do this now. Yeah, I'm not going to be close to the Usopp just yet. Where's my Zoro where I need it? This is an annoying card. I need to be able to kill this at some point. Would have loved to have the Luffy to attack into. I guess we can go for the ace next turn, right? Sure, I'll go like this. I need to actually attack with the Luffy first for me to actually be able to play this ace. So if we attack with Luffy first for 6, I guess we can go for 8. Can go for 8 here. I would rather have Zoro over the Adio here. We'll go like this, rest this, and just put 6 on it to make sure that we actually kill it. Either one of these is fine to keep, right? They're gonna be more or less the same. The opponent can go for a 9 though, so I guess we just let the 9 go. The opponent's just gonna start dropping big bombs. We're gonna be dropping our own big bomb, I guess, but it's not exactly the big bomb that I was looking for. Like if I had Zoro and I could just drop Zoro on curve here, we could put so much pressure, even with the opponent being a 6k leader, because my Zoro is attacking 3 times, right? Yeah, so we have to let that go. There's no way I can spend that down there. It sucks because I feel like I have to just, yeah, I have to just go for the Adio and just keep the Dawn open for Adio, so that leaves me with only 2 Dawn to play with. So I guess it's gonna be 2 6k attacks. So we'll go like this, and we'll go 6 twice. Yeah, because I have to leave a Dawn open for Adio to have like the 2k effect. We did mulligan, right? We did mulligan, tried to look for that Zoro, didn't find it, didn't find the law either, which we didn't have in our first turn. And sometimes that's what's gonna happen, right? Like, and that is why we play 4 Zoros and 4 laws. But hey, again, sometimes that's gonna happen. Your deck is not always gonna cooperate with you. Now the opponent could just go here for like a, I guess a big 10 drop, right? If they go for the Luffy here, does that matter to me? I mean, I'm still at 4 life. Still at 4 life. I don't know that I care. I think I just let this die. I think I don't care about the ace right now. Yeah, I don't think I care about the ace right now. I'll take 1 hit from the Luffy. They could have a rush here to try to kill this Adio, but again, I still have the Adio effect giving me a free 2k counter. We have our own Luffy to rest the opponent's blockers. Roger. Whoa. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Wow, I was not expecting that one. That's a big boy, Roger. That is a big boy, Roger. All right, opponent has no Dawn open and has 2 life. What if we just attack all in into them? And then just force him to have the blockers, but I guess the opponent can just go double blocker. If they go double blocker and I don't have another unit, like no matter what, the opponent can kill my units, right? So we go 9, 10, 11, 11, and a 12, I guess. I think I'm down to do it. I think I'm down to put the opponent at 0 and just force him to have to always keep Dawn active. I'm down to force him to have to always keep Dawn active to be able to have their events. And we're just going to pass here with 1 done to be able to use the Adio ability. So the gold Roger means that now my blockers obviously don't matter, right? Because if I activate a blocker, opponent just wins the game. This could be... So we take 5 here. We take 6. We go here. The opponent could have another Roger. If they go for a extra turn Luffy, they could have a bigger attack here. Roger. I think we take it. I still have this 2k from the Adio. We have the ways to rest their blockers, right? Like, even if the opponent... Like, the way that the opponent wins this is by going double blocker and then also keeping enough down for, like, a radical beam. If they have double blocker and I have to spend 6 down on the blockers, I can only go up to 13 here because I'm going to have 4 down left. And 13 is easily beat by the opponent having, like, a radical beam and counters, right? Now, if the opponent gets baited here to try to go for lethal, it also sucks that we don't have a lot of 2Ks in our hand right now because we had to use a lot of them. We had to use 1 ace earlier to play it out. We had to counter last turn to save the Adio. We only have... on one of our 2Ks is the Usoashi, which we want to have if the opponent goes double blocker. I might have to save this. Yeah, I might have to save this. I don't want to... I think it makes more sense for me to give them a Luffy instead of giving the Usopp. If the opponent has another rusher here, they wouldn't have enough done for their stuff, right? So again, this has to just be the... Yeah, this has to just be the big Luffy. So now what I need to do is be able to actually survive this Luffy attack. So I am going to have to give up... It's a 7. I'm going to have to give up both Usopp and Luffy. Wait, they forgot to attack. Okay, so I just don't die. Yeah, I just don't die. So it doesn't matter what happens now. Opponent can go 1 blocker here, right? They can go Nami, they can go Sanji. Do you know what's funny? That if I kept 2 down open, this Adio could actually trigger again. I actually forgot about that. I completely forgot that actually works that way. So if they go Sanji, they're keeping themselves with no Dawn, right? Okay, they have Usopp instead. Yeah, I mean, we just go for it. We attach everything, and if you have it, you have it. So Radical Beam. Yeah, they have it. They should have it. Oh, no, they don't. Yeah. Them not attacking last turn obviously allowed me to keep that Usopp. But we had another Usopp in our life anyways. So, because otherwise I would have to spend more Dawn to actually get this Luffy out. But opponent ended up kind of throwing their then, unfortunately for them, right? Just by forgetting to attack with the Luffy. Because they could have attacked for 7, force me to take that life, or force me to have to counter. Because if I don't counter out of that 7, the opponent then will have had a Luffy plus Luffy attack. Obviously, I'm not beating this Luffy attack. I should remember, by the way, like I just said, that I can keep 2 down open, because if the opponent does play the Luffy, it lets me be able to have an extra down to play Adio twice, because it counts as a new turn when the opponent starts a new turn there. So the Adio could have actually been an extra 2k counter. That could have actually made the difference. So I threw, and then the opponent threw right back at us. So GG's. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed today's games of Lim and the deck breakdown. And I know I spoke way too much, but honestly, this deck ended up being a lot more fun than I expected it to be. So that's why I ended up putting so much time on that deck breakdown, even though I was like rambling and repeating some points over and over again. So I apologize about that. But anyways, you get to see kind of the power, right? Like of Lim here, going first, dropping down these bombs, and kind of getting value there. Against Shanks, obviously one game we won pretty clearly, just putting all that pressure into them. The second game was not as good, right? Like we should have technically lost that game, but the opponent obviously just, passed, right? They had the dragon in their hands, so they had enough value to actually just kill us. I have to look back and see, honestly, like, I was trying to play that Linlin, that Linlin that turn, right? That game. So like it's a little bit awkward, right? Like we got to get the Linlin effect up, but the opponent still had all the rushers and they can just kill us that way, and that's kind of what made it awkward. The other two games though were also really good showcase of what this deck can do, right? We got to see the Nico Robin coming in really clutch against Lucci, and that's the reason we play this card, right? That's literally the matchup why we play this card. And then we got to see, I guess, a Red Purple Luffy play, just us putting so much pressure into them and be able to, like, we got to rest that on Clay, right? Being able to rest their units while still attacking into them is really what you're looking to do with this deck and kind of get the value of both worlds. At the end of the day, the big thing is dropping Zoro the soonest that you can. Down 9, down 10, drop Zoro down. Because that Zoro being on the field just puts so much pressure into the opponent. It's the way that you're going to win with this leader. So you drop Zoro, and then after that, you have all these units that can just rest the opponent's blockers, right? So the Zoro just ends up getting so much value, and that's all I can tell you about this deck. But anyways, enough about that. We're going to have 2 more videos with Lim coming out tomorrow and the day after. So if you want to keep up to date with that, with all of the Lim gameplay, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post One Piece videos every single day. You can also find us on Twitch, Sirturmund every now and then, and you can find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.